check me out. 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 Check me. Can I get a microphone check? Cash check. In the fast lane holding ass check. Yeah. Check me out. Check me out. Can I get a microphone check? Cash check. In the fast lane holding ass check. Yeah. Check me out. Why don't you check me out? Why don't you check me out? In Lenox Mall, buying it all out. Tell a cashier she could check me out. 100 grand total, sign the check and we out.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. 85 degrees in the winter times, never odd. Just another day in California, palm trees, low riders, black Asians and SA. All they do is bang, make music and sell weight. From the bottom of Diego to west of the Palisades, Rosecrans, Crenshaw, all the way to Longbeach, Alhambra, Pasadena, Triple City, Rosemead, Alameda, Riverside, all the way to Broadway. Shout out to the homies up in Quentin doing all day. Shout out to the bricks, I'ma represent it always. Back in 89, used to write it in the hallways. Product of the 80s, so the streets played a part though. Creased up Dickies, Ben Davis with a scarf on. Homie, this a hardcore, West Coast G shit. California love back for the second season. Seeing is believing, so I'ma make a picture me. Rolling like Pac, all I'm missing is my Hennessy. Me against the world, give a shout out to my enemies and all my fake homies.
Hey, what's up, beautiful lady?
Hey, how are you? How's your day?
Girl, I stayed motionless for the last couple of days. Yeah, I'm over here partying to G's old music. I know I drive crazy. I drive G crazy every time I do that. Check me out.
Right.
That's like my favorite song that he did. Check me out. Every now and again, I have to put it on my video.
I see we both wearing caps tonight.
Yes, girl. Yes. I went old school on everything. I got my Eugenia's Village hat on. I got my old G-Lew shirt on.
Oh, you see my shirt?
Oh, you got, I should have worn my pink one. Yeah.
They just came in the mail today.
Oh, cool. I got I ain't checked no emails in a couple of days, and I got that it was shipped to you. I was like, let me get my, you know what's so funny? I hate to tell people I'm such a dingbat because I ordered mine and I ordered yours on the same day. So I went through my email the other day and it said, you left something in your basket. Why I didn't hit proceed on your shirts? I'm such a dingbat.
Oh, no.
As you see, I'm sitting a little different today, girl. I told you I was dragging. I didn't set up nothing. I just sat at my desk. And it's a total... So like,
right.
I said, I'm not setting up nothing. Girl, you know, I showed you, I can't show the bruise that I sent you a picture. Girl, look at me. Wait, let me see. I don't know how to, my whole arm. Girl, I got bruises all up and down my arm.
No.
When I told you, only I can trip over a rug on my own floor.
I almost did the same thing. But I did have knee surgery.
Yeah, you have an and I was so, you know what? I said I live a better life when I done toss back tequila shots than when I'm sober. I do the dumbest crap when I'm sober. Just bathroom break. Me and my dog, you know, I drink so much water. I got to get you one of these too. This is my Didi.
It's nice.
Didi. Yeah, so I drink water all day. And at nighttime, I go to the bathroom like 6 or 7 times. So me and my little dog, look, he's posted in the background asleep. Go to the bathroom, and you know, he got hopped, so he could hop from the door to the bed.
Right.
And I hit the ground.
Oh, no.
Like I told you, I'm only 103. I finally broke 130 pounds. I'm 133 pounds. What's up, Mr. Oak? I said, I went in the room to my son who's playing the game. He finally hooked up his video game. And I said, if a tree falls in the forest, can you hear it? And he looks at me. He looks at me. I said, no, first when you fall, you look around like, did anybody see me? Because, my kids will make jokes and laugh at me.
Right.
I said, how you didn't hear me? He's like, I don't know.
Oh, no. How long was you down?
Long enough to laugh at myself. But every time I get bruises like this, I always tell the husband, I'm going to tell people you beat me. He's like, don't play like that.
Right.
Like that.
And I was going to sit here during this hot flash, but you give me 1 second. I got to get this fan on me.
Girl, my fan is going right now, but it only, because last time I did sound check, G was like, what is that noise? So if it starts interrupting, I'll turn it off. Okay. Being a woman is real.
Right. Right.
And I still get mad. Like, how is my sister older than me and we going through menopause at the same time? It's not fair in life.
Wow.
Just not fair.
Wow.
Just not fair. So, but my mom, before she passed away, I was having like strange issues going on. And she said, oh, hey, Melinda, that's my girl. What's up, honey bun? Girl, I got to get you on this show because we always talk about marriage and family, and that's my girl, and she been married for a long time. She been married. Melinda, you've been married longer than me, huh? Girl, I've been married since the arc ages. I always say I grew up with salt. Before salt was traded. I love me some her. Yeah, I think so. I think because I remember when you guys got together and I was keeping my relationship a secret. When me and the husband said we were getting married, people looked at us like, when did that happen? But that's how you keep a relationship strong, is you don't tell nobody. You don't tell anybody. Yep, you don't tell anyone you're in that relationship because people come to ruin it. Right. Especially like she knows who the husband is, especially with him. I didn't want nobody to know. So one time somebody was talking about him and I was like, ugh, who messes with him? And I was.
That's funny.
Oh yeah. So it's been crazy. I know you, man, that interview, before we get into our hot topics. And Monica, I got your text that Monica wouldn't be here tonight. She had some other obligations. So we're going to miss her tonight because she brings such a fire when she comes on with us. I love when she's on with us. But that interview last night, you and G, hey, I know G's out there listening. You got to borrow Angela. You don't get to keep her. Because you guys
only
were
for one night.
Yeah, what's that song? Only for one night? Yeah. You guys did great last night. I enjoyed you guys that together.
Show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed bringing his story to fruition.
And people really have to know about wrongful convictions, and you guys did really great together. I was watching the playback when I couldn't sleep last night, and I was like, oh, I started getting a little jealous. I was like, wait. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Yeah, but he and I go back some years. So I'm very familiar with him and his story. So, I'm glad he finally got the chance to say something. And he's actually getting ready for part 2 right now. So he's super excited about it.
Yeah, I hit him up last night. I don't usually do Instagram on the Sabbath, but I wanted to hit him up and let him know his story really got out there and we got to hear, because people hear me talk a little bit about my brother who's been down 16 years on a wrongful conviction. And I had told you when they initially took the girl's statement, she said that that the person who accosted her was 5'6", my height. My brother is 6 feet tall.
Wow.
So it happened to him 26 years ago. It happened to my brother 16 years ago. And it's still happening today. There's a lot of wrongful convictions out there, and these cops they're lazy. They don't want to do their jobs, and they'll grab anybody to get a case closed, and it's really, really sad. And I watch a lot of ID channel, and a lot of these cases will go 20 years and not get closed, so they really just want to get a case closed. They really just want to get it done, and they'll snatch up anybody to make those numbers. And it's really, really kind of sad, and then now when, after DNA started coming in and you get a lot of these young men getting out of jail 20 years later because the DNA wasn't even theirs. So
right. And
it was,
see, in his situation, he actually said there wasn't a crime scene for 6 years, I believe he said it was.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then by the Innocence Project picking him up, I actually looked that up a little bit after we got off the show, and it has to be DNA evidence. So to find DNA evidence 6 years later.
Yeah. And it's so sad because like he mirrors my little brother. Like no gun was found. They didn't take gunshot residue. They didn't take those kids' clothes. They didn't do a crime scene either. I said, oh my goodness, 26 years ago, 16 years ago, it's all exactly the same. False ID, you know, it's just so sad.
And then they want to work out a deal with someone who is a known criminal.
Right.
Just to lock up somebody who is just a suspect.
Right. Because what they do is they'll offer you a deal and, you know, like, hey, you're going to get 25 to life or take 6 years. And a lot of times, right, Melinda, they, you know, get them stats up. And a lot of these kids will say, oh, I'm not doing 25 to life. Give me those 6 years. Give me those 9 years.
Right.
And, you know, working in the system that I worked in, the first time I worked the compound with the unfits, before I became a senior, I was in W. And them kids would tell another kid, you got 9 years, I got 75. Stop whining. You got 16 years, I got 90. Stop crying.
Wow.
You would be like, what? And these are like 15 years. They're 15 years old coming in saying, I got 75 years.
So how old was your brother when he went in?
24.
Babies.
Two daughters with sickle cell and a son he raised from prison. Yep. And he's just now, I had to pay. Girl, I could have bought my son 2 cars and a house with as much money as I put on a lawyer.
Wow.
Because, oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Innocence Project. The Innocence Project went all through my brother's case and said, oh, you have a case, but they wouldn't pick it up because it was no DNA and they couldn't get in touch with the girl that testified against him. And I don't want to give too much of his case out.
Right.
They couldn't find her. And my son, my little brother, I would say my little brother's case went from a racial crime, and then they when they took it to court, they made it gang related. Yeah. So
and I think that takes it up another notch when you do that.
Well, that's where they can give you enhancements. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and he had alibis. Like,
wow.
He could say exactly where he was and it didn't really matter. But my brother, to them, was a menace. So they wanted him off the streets. Yeah. Yeah. And it's, you know, he said the same thing. He was like, well, I know I didn't do this, but maybe this is the Lord punishing me for some stuff I did and didn't get caught for. But after 16 years, and, you know, he lost his dad while he was in prison. He lost my mom while he was in prison. He lost my little brother while he was in prison. And he said, I think I paid. So now I need to get out.
Right.
Because I didn't do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so that was a great story. And I was so glad that it got out, because a lot of people don't really realize people are sitting in prison for things they did not do.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm rooting for him. He has a lot of good connections too. So, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, them along with us, you know, bringing his story, you know, to the screen, because he's never had that thus far. You know, he's never had this, what we did for him last night thus far. So
exactly.
You know, hopefully it gets in the right hand.
Exactly, Melinda. They will offer less time, and a lot of them take it. You know, sometimes they think they can't beat it, they take it, and I get it. I do get it. If you tell me I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in prison versus 9 years, I'm gonna take that 9 years. You know, I've seen it done. But I wanted to touch on that because that interview was really great. But it is hot topics, and the hottest topic is Roe versus Wade. And you know, because I told you last night I was on the phone talking about grandbabies. They running around, not one adult awake. And I talked to these little grandbabies last night, And I had to use the bathroom. I said, I'll call you back. I called back, and their dad answered the phone like, Mom, go to bed. I sit in the bed, you go to bed. So I am pro-life because my little grandbabies, you know, you think about, but like I was telling the husband, all these judges that are 90 years old making a decision for a woman,
right?
What gives you that right? And I would say
Right.
this is Didi's perspective. You don't have to agree with Didi's perspective. How you gonna tell me I have to have my daddy's baby? You gonna tell me I have to have my uncle's baby?
Right.
That's the part that makes it so sad. If you had told me one of my kids had a deformity, I still would have had my kid. But I remember my mother was in her 40s and she took that test. She wouldn't have had my little brother.
Right.
If there was something wrong with him. And I know there are some people that are so better than me that can raise a kid that they were raped. And they can do it.
Right.
But you know, you and I can say we have friends that you see them they'll tell their son or their daughter, you look just like your daddy, get your little MF and ass someplace, sit down. And they have mistreated that kid because they don't like the daddy. Can you imagine?
Right. I can't. And it happens every day, all the time.
And there's someone in my family, and I don't want to say too much. She has her kids for a welfare check and food stamps. And has left those 3 babies, gorgeous babies, in hotel rooms, in cars. And there's 2 people in my family that have taken up those 3 little kids and are raising those kids. And you know, everything hit the fan, and the kids were taken from the family members that are taking care of those babies, because that girl is a waste of human space. And those kids were screaming and hollering when the police took them away. And one ended up in juvenile hall, and the other 2 were in foster care for about a week, while that person was fighting to get those 2 family members were fighting to get them back. So people died. These little kids have died in under the care of foster parents. But you say, no, everybody should have every baby that's created, and then what? And I'm just touching on 3 little kids that are close to me. And what happened to that little girl? She didn't start school till she was 7 years old.
And there's a lot of good people out there that want to be foster parents that, you know, they'll turn them down because
I got turned down. I got turned down.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of kids out there that could be helped right now, but, you know, because of certain criteria, they can't get in.
Or those 2 little kids in California City, that 2 little Black kids were adopted, and they got disappeared. All of California City was looking for them, and those 2 foster parents killed those 2 little kids.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, but I, you know, like I said, I am pro-life because every time my sons got someone pregnant, I begged, please let me have my little grandbabies.
And it's going to be the trickle down effect from this decision. You know, from this one decision is going to trickle down into situations like that, along with, you know, other things is going to happen. You know, just it's a trickle down effect. So.
And you remember back in the days, those back alley abortions? And that's sad.
Right.
That's really
Some
sad.
women can't even have children anymore after that.
And I think just Didi's opinion, 12 people on the Supreme Court, how do you tell a woman? And then, you know, the craziest part, how many of these senators got caught with their mistresses having abortions? And then you're pro-life, but you think it's okay for these kids to be walking around with AR-15s. And you believe in the death penalty. You can't be pro-life and believe in the death penalty. You just can't. Well, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Didi's opinions.
Exactly. You know, YouTube, this is not the consensus of everybody on this channel. It's just me, so don't take us down.
Right.
Because I used to believe into the death penalty until I realized how many people will be killed and they were innocent. And then I said, you got to take that back. Because, the Bible says an eye for eye. If you kill, you get killed. If you steal, you get your hand cut off. And then I was like, ooh, you got to rethink that one.
Right,
so I did. Right. And I said, I can't be pro-life and believe in the death penalty. That's like an oxymoron, right? So, but Gavin Newsom said in California, he's not, because it's state by state. It's not federal. It's not federal anymore. It's state by state. So that's the one thing that makes it good. So Gavin Newsom said, yeah, I ain't rolling with that. California,
so there's a choice in the matter. That's good to know. Yeah. So I wonder if that's actually going to be on the ballot, for us, the people state by state to vote for it. You know what I'm saying? Because don't they put stuff like that on the ballot? I know they had marijuana on there at one point because it's still not federally legal. No, it's a state by state type of thing.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Because I know some states, as soon as that federal law came, today it was illegal. But Gavin Newsom came out. I like Gavin Newsom. I know people can't stand Gavin, but he's the one that'd be like, I don't care what you said. My state is doing this. So he does stand up for stuff like that. And I think if DeSantis runs for president, Gavin Newsom should run up against him because I don't know anyone who could beat DeSantis. From Florida, he's so weird. He's the one with the critical race theory and banned a bunch of math books. I was like, yeah, you want the math books taken out so people can't count a ballot. How you take a math book out of school? Because it's racially charged. He's an nincompoop. But I think Gavin Newsom is the one that can go up against DeSantis because Gavin Newsom don't play. They tried to recall him and he was like, yeah, watch and see how that works out for you.
Right. So you know what I was interested in? Caesar from Black Ink Crew. Did you ever get a chance to watch the video?
I always try to get on my high horses. I don't watch reality shows, but I do. I do watch that one. Yeah,
he actually said in this dog case that he was being videoed, but he was actually trying to break up the fight between his dogs. That he had nothing to do with that, and he felt like it was a setup.
It probably was. Because his show does better than any of these Black Ink shows. Because the one in LA, I've been by his shop. I can't stand him. I'm not gonna say nothing. Yeah, it's never open. He's not doing tattoos, and his reality show made LA look so bad. That show was so terrible, and you made LA look so weak. And they're about to do a whole new season. But I love Caesar's show, his Black Ink show.
I just thought about. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just thought about something. It's funny because his season, I believe it was the season finale, or maybe it was the show before the season finale. He brought in Black Ink Crew Chicago, Compton, a lot of the heavy hitters, and he brought them in so they can buy up a street, as Black business owners. And I promise you, when I saw that episode, I said, I hope nothing happens to him. No. They don't want, they don't want to see something like that. And they get some powerful Black men together to buy up a street corner.
And you can't do that. They just took T.I.'s show off the air also. I don't watch his show, but I said, what is going on? That you're now taking these Black shows off the air all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah. VH1. Yep. So,
I just thought of that just now. I remember when he did that episode, I'm like, what? I really hope something don't happen to him because this is very powerful right here.
But same thing with my son. Who was it that went to jail for fighting dogs? My son loves him. From the Phillies, I think it. No. It was the football player. The Atlanta Falcons football player. He loves him too. They have all their jerseys. When they were kids, I bought them for him. He fight dog fighting. They'll do anything to pull you down, you know, the whole thing. And it wasn't even, it was his cousin that was running that dog fighting ring, and he's the one who went to prison for it.
Because he's the name, he's the famous name, and that's the reason why.
Same thing with they're gonna do it to Caesar, because he did. He started that show, and then he got Chicago in on it, and then he went to this little dude here in LA. He's a good tattoo artist, but your show was ridiculous. So it started becoming a big network. So you're gonna chop it off at the head, and you're gonna take Caesar down. Yeah. Right. That's that was sad.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So I don't want to get too deep into the Nipsey trial, but it finally started. Nipsey's trial finally started. Yeah. I've seen little bits and pieces of it. It's just too heartbreaking for me to really get into it. Right. But I was on one of my YouTubers channels because, you know, I just been laying here since my little dive onto this. And you can see my bedspread, my carpet looks just like it. And one of the dudes, because Cowboy testified, and one of the dudes was saying, I can't wait to see what Spider Loc has to say about it. And I said, oh, I got to go on Spider's channel to see what he says. And Spider Loc came up in the comments.
Oh, wow. So I know the judge had issued a warrant on Thursday for the eyewitness to show up, and he failed to appear.
Yeah. And that's what Nip's family is. And they're not coming to the courthouse for the...
They don't want to go to the trial?
Mm-mm. And you know, it's really crazy because I don't say too much. Little shitty cuz was in the halls with us. Yeah. So I keep my opinion to myself. But yeah, the family doesn't really want to partake in this. And the one that they put the warrant out, he's, you know, there's a whole street code. Yeah, they said it's the no snitching mindset. Yeah. Right. So they're just not. That's why. And I got to go watch Spider Loc to see what he had to say. Because he came in the comments right after dude said, I wonder what Spider Loc has to say. He came in the comments. And you know, Spider Loc is one of our sponsors, and he's been on our show. But you know, he gives his 2 cents on whatever he's feeling. So I gotta, after this, I'm gonna go and check out what he has to say. Because he keeps it 1,000 all the time. So, nice. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, I was trying to watch that Versus with Omarion and
Mario.
And I'm thinking, Omarion, you got like 4 songs. How you do a Versus?
I know, because I don't think he can share any of the songs that he did with B2K.
I don't think so either. So that's why I said I have to go peep it out to see, what did you play? What songs did you do? I did really like that little album he did though. I bought it. It's all on my little phone, like I'm a little teeny bopper.
I used to like Omarion, but yeah, something changed after he divorced his wife. You know, she said that he left for absolutely no reason at all. No heads up.
No, there was a reason, girl. Stop playing. And so, you know, just like the first husband, I got a divorce. I did the same thing. He came home from work and he's like, where'd everybody go? It's a reason. And like I tell my kids, my sons, like they used to just blame him because, you know, they lived in our house. But I said, there's some blame for me too. You know, you can't just, it's always 2 people make stuff go wrong. You know, he may share 75% of it, but I was 17. I was 17.
Right.
So but
sometimes stuff happens and one person might not be aware that anything is wrong. You know, because there's people out there that will have an issue with you, you know, even a spouse, and won't even let you know until they're actually gone. So yeah, there might have been a problem, but did you let your spouse in on the issue so maybe you guys can resolve it before walking out?
On that reality show, because I liked I love me Brandy's little brother, One Wish. I love me some him.
I love that
but
song.
You could kind of see he wasn't a talker. He really, even in his group, he just didn't seem like he was a communicator. Yeah.
Oh, Marion.
Yeah, Marion.
Yeah.
So he seems like he would bottle everything up, and then you like, well,
because his friends
happened?
said the same thing on the Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah,
Hollywood. They said basically the same thing because he wasn't talking to a couple of them on there, just cut contact.
He seems like that type.
Yeah. So he probably had an issue with her. She probably didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to his music though. If you listen to some of his music, that last album. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even listen to him anymore, so I don't
decided to listen to his last album either, but that breakout album that he did, that he had Chris Brown on. God, I love me some Chris Brown. Chris Brown has a new album coming out. He was on Drunk Champs, and he said, "I'm about to stop drinking with y'all because I'm a stuff." Like you don't go on Drunk Champs because they get you so drunk. I had to stop watching 50 Cent on the Game. I was like, Game, please stop talking.
I've never seen that, but one time when DMX was on there, rest in peace.
Yeah,
that's the only time I think I watched that show.
They get you so faded. I'm telling you, I had to tell G I had to stop watching that interview because Game, I don't know if you was smoking, you was high, but you started saying stuff that your mama don't want to hear.
Oh wow! Now I'm gonna have to watch it,
girl.
Now I'm gonna have to watch it.
And I'm not the greatest Game person. Like his music is pretty dope, but he got so rude with my best friend that I just couldn't. My childhood friend is telling me happy Sabbath. Yeah, I just couldn't. Like, you're rude. So my husband's like, you don't give nobody a second chance. No. No.
Do the same thing again.
Yeah. No. I was hanging out with Boo and I do that to her, like certain things. I was like, no. That's how we're so. So yeah. This happened in the beginning of the month, and I wrote it down in my see, this is my Hookah Lounge notebook. It says, "Thou shalt not try me." Mood 24/7.
That's nice, Didi.
I'm gonna send you some notebooks because girl, I have notebooks all over the house.
I like that.
Girl, did you see the D.L. Hughley and Monique fight?
No, I didn't.
They did a concert together, and I guess it was who was headlining. So, and Monique, I never really thought Monique was funny, except when she first came out and she used to do this stand-up about skinny girls. I always say, I can't stand that skinny girl. And she used to do this, she was working out, like to aerobics, and she used to be like, I can't stand this skinny bitch.
I tried out for her show years back. It was for big, I did. It was for big girls.
Hey, Eric.
I forget the name of the show specifically, but it was for big girls. And I was auditioning and I kept, going to the next level. I kept, passing every level. And I must have been there 8-9 hours and I had to go. I had no childcare, so I had to leave. So I don't know. I could have been America's Next Top big model. Hey, Eric.
She comes on stage because she thought she was closing out instead of D.L. Hughley, which I don't know where you got that from because D.L. Hughley is still relevant. And for like 15, 20, 30 minutes, she's ranting and raving. She calls D.L. Hughley this and that, talks about his wife and his kids. And it wasn't funny. But some things, you don't talk about people's kids. See, you talk about my kids. I don't care how bad my kids are. My grandbabies, I don't care. They funny looking. You not about to talk about.
Right.
Or my husband. I don't care if it's his mama or his sister. You not about to talk about my husband.
I remember you said that before too.
I'll talk shit about my husband in a heartbeat. Or my sister. Right. My nephew talked about my sister on Facebook, and I lost my cookies. No, you don't. No, you not. I'll go all the way back to that Nina. They used to call me Nina. I'll go all the way back to Nina on you, okay? I'll forget I done found the Most High. I would done chuck my Bible at you. No, I won't. I'm kidding, Most High. Those are just jokes.
So they said that she did apologize, though. She apologized to his family.
Yeah, it went, and then he had put his contract up that said I'm the headliner, and it went back and forth. But he came on stage and said like maybe a minute's worth, but he had to come on after her after she did like 20-30 minutes, and then he had to come on stage.
Wow.
If it was funny though, because I got jokes, I could be really kind of funny. I used to be funny in school where people wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. But I said, sweetheart, you gotta check yourself at the door sometimes. It can't be everyone, baby girl. It's got to be you. And when she got into it with Charlamagne and they were like dissing her, I actually saw that interview. I don't watch Charlamagne anymore.
I never liked him.
Me either. She wasn't at the end of the show. Like there's a little clip where they said she went off on him and they showed it. She didn't. She said, lovely, this and that. And sometimes don't beat down on your sisters and don't, especially like she didn't go off on him. And I took her back on that one because she did her lovely and she talked to him like me and you were talking right now. She wasn't wild, out of control. She didn't do like she did Dale Hughley.
Right.
And I was like, why would you put her? And I watched the interview that he had did with her. And you did do that Charlamagne thing, and sometimes cut that lady a break. But she, I watched that one too. But I can't stand Charlamagne. He irritates me.
Oh, he irritates me. I watched that video over and over again when them dudes went after him for trying to diss Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
That was funny. I think Didi has frozen for the moment. We'll get Didi back soon.
Oh, I was going to say, am I about to have to on this show on my phone? My internet is terrible.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so you're on your computer right now.
Yeah, but I was about to hop on my phone because I saw my bars had went down. Okay, we good. Girl, I'll do a show on my phone.
I'm on my phone now. I got the computer sitting right here because I'm looking up the hot topics.
Oh, okay.
But I always do it on my phone.
So, that threw me for a loop. I was like, ah! We did, you know what? DJ's Quick's son got arrested.
Did he?
Girl, felony, this is earlier in the month too. A felony murder charge after a deadly fight in Downey.
Didn't that happen a while back?
Yeah, earlier in the month. Yeah. And you know what's really crazy? DJ Quick's daughter also got arrested years ago, like in 2013 for child abuse on her little 2-year-old daughter. I'm like, dang, DJ Quick.
Wow.
I guess after the deadly fight, there was a gun pulled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I marked the man's name out because I didn't want to give it any oxygen. The man had one gunshot after an alleged fight between Quick's son and the guy. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he was charged with murder, arrested on suspicion of murder. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, we always put these, I don't, but other people put these artists in this big, like they glamorize them, but shoot, they go through everyday stuff too. Like we were just talking about wrongful convictions or people going to jail, and like I've been, my family, I done had 3 brothers go to jail, but they go through everyday stuff.
Right.
Girl, I always make the joke that all my siblings been fingerprinted except for me. I got fingerprinted for a job. I know we done put my mother through it. Like, so that's why I was like, dang, DJ Quick, you live everyday life too. Jeez. Just, I only had one son get in trouble for a fight he had at school, and they tried to send him to jail for a school fight. Daddy tried to sue me, take my house, the whole 9 yards.
Wow. What grade was he in?
His senior year. Yeah. And the dad gonna ask me, what would you do if it was your son who had his whole eye socket broken? And you know, my silly ass, I said, teach your son how to bob and weave. And then I said to him, teacher, when we were trying to he was trying to take me to court. I said, teach your son, don't start a fight he can't finish.
Right?
My son didn't start the fight, but he clearly finished it.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, all I had to do was replace his contacts and pay his hospital bill. Your son shouldn't have started the fight.
Right.
Sadly, he's my son. He finished it. The heck? What you think I raised? So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you too. My bad. I'm sorry. Let me stop before they come take my door down. See, our 20-year-old is the same way. He's very quiet. Don't mess with him, though. I did. Right. They called me Nina for a reason. So silly. And I'm drinking water. See, I need to be intoxicated. Then I'll be all calm. Trying to hydrate my life. Shoot, and I weigh 133 pounds. I'm trying to get that down to 130. All that dang sugar and alcohol.
I'll take that 133 any day.
Girl, you know, people get mad at me when I say that, but when my mom passed away, I was 107 pounds. Oh. So, yeah, I'm usually really tiny. So, it kind of throws me off. But, like, anytime G comes out here, I say, look, G, I gained weight. Look. I be looking like a number 2 pencil, a 12-year-old boy trying to fight through adolescence. So, but the Lord did bless me with these right here. So I was in 3rd grade. You knew I was a girl,
right?
So. I don't think I've seen. I think the biggest I've ever been is like 160, 160. So we were at work one day, girl, and we were at the husband was telling people I was fat, and they're like, "How you say that to your wife?" Because we got married, I had a nice little body. And it's like, you ain't seen her. This to her, this fat. And they're like, she
you was 160? You had to be pregnant during that time.
I had hurt my sciatica, and I was on crutches, girl, and I couldn't do anything. So I had gained weight because I broke my ankle. It went from my sciatica to I was on crutches for 11 months. Wow. I couldn't work out. I couldn't do anything. So he was teasing me, telling me she's fat, she's fat.
Yeah.
And people were like, they didn't think I was fat, but he was like, you don't know her. You don't know her. You ain't seen her. Because I've always been a slender person. But it did look nice on me. It did look really, really nice on me. Yeah. So, because
I think the lowest I was down to 144, 145. That's probably the lowest I've ever been as an adult.
But I had hips, girl. The whole 9 yards. Yeah. Now, it's so sad. Oh, you know what? Speaking, you know how I was talking about how if you get up there, they like to, as black men. I mean, some will do it to themselves, like Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. Some of y'all do that to yourselves,
right?
But when I was talking about DeSantis, this Andrew Gilliam guy, he ran against DeSantis and almost beat him in Florida, which is shocking because he's a Democrat. Florida ain't been Democrats. But now they're going after him, because, so that he doesn't make another run for it. 21 counts of federal indictments, wire fraud, conspiracy, making false statements. See, there you sit back and say, what?
And you know what? I bet you even with all that, he won't get as many years as LA Meech got.
Okay.
Even with all of that.
But like those are isn't that the January 6th hearings? I mean, isn't that Trump? Isn't that
for Andrew Dillon?
Yeah, Gilliam. Those are his charges. 21 counts of federal indictments for wire fraud, conspiracy, making statements. Wait a minute, isn't that the little pervert in the Senate that took a 17-year-old girl out of state and paid her for sex? And he's still on the Senate? Gates? Is that his name, Gates?
I don't know.
And, that's why I say, what? And do you think after all these January 6th hearings and all this stuff coming out about can't stand Trump, you think he's going to do any time? You think anything is going to happen? Anything. I mean, you almost, if you were smarter, you'd have overturned the whole election, and we would be one of these communist countries. It'll be a Republican in office for the rest of their lives.
Right.
If he was smart enough to do it. He just wasn't smart enough. He thought flushing paperwork. What's up, Western Ave? Do you really think? I mean, you are trying, because you got 70 million votes, you thought it was okay? Okay, well, ding dong, Biden got 80 million. You getting 70 million didn't mean you won.
Right.
And I mean, sadly, Biden's in office, but you could have put Ronald McDonald up against Trump. They was getting him out.
Right.
And he did the hell no, we won't go. And I'm tired of people congratulating Pence for doing what he was supposed to do. Can you imagine when Bush beat Gore? Gore could have said, no, I'm vice president. You're not gonna win.
Right.
When Trump beat Hillary, they could have did the same thing. Biden was the vice president. He could have said, nah, we want Hillary to win, so we're gonna overturn.
Right.
No, that's not how it works.
Hey, Western Ave.
Yeah, but he's a spoiled ass rich kid, always been a spoiled little rich kid. His kids are spoiled little rich kids, and you think that you can throw a temper tantrum and you're gonna change democracy.
And I used to like Trump when he did the show You're Fired. I used to love that show. I thought, business people could learn a lot. But as president, it was a whole different thing.
I've never liked Trump. Trump's daddy was a racist. They got when Nixon was president, they got in trouble for not renting to black people. They got in trouble back when Nixon. Who remembers Nixon being president? They got sued because they wouldn't rent to black people. But then you want to do all these commercials and hang out with black rappers and say, I got black friends, but you can't live in my building. That's who Trump has always been. So all these people that, especially these black folks that talk about Trump wasn't a bad president, Trump wasn't this. I wrote a whole book that tells you all the civil rights Trump was rolling back while he was smiling in your face.
Wow.
Ding dongs.
Right. A lot of black people said that though about Clinton, but they didn't know about the 3 strikes. They had no idea. They loved Clinton because they thought that he loved black people in general.
And he didn't.
But he was locking them up.
And then what he did is everybody hates Biden. Y'all want to hate Biden. Biden was Clinton's puppet. That whole 3 strikes law is Bill Clinton because he needed to get reelected. And y'all, he put Biden up there as his little puppet so he could sit back and play jazz and go on Arsenio Hall and act like he liked black people. That was all Bill Clinton. Y'all stop giving Clinton props. Stop it.
Right.
He took away your welfare and locked your brothers and sisters up, and then made Biden take the fall for it. Biden is the one who voted. Go look at his voting record. Biden is the one who voted against the 3 strikes. Stop giving Clinton all this credit. Because he could play the jazz and sat with Arsenio Hall. Man. Hillary, and Bill Clinton, both of them. They have a sheet in their closet as well. And they used to hang out with Donald Trump.
Oh no.
They used to hang out with Donald Trump. He donated to Clinton's campaign. They were friends.
Wow.
Donald Trump was a Democrat until Obama became president.
Donald Trump was a Democrat?
Donald Trump was a Democrat until Obama became president. And his racist ass became a Republican because he did not want that half-breed being president.
I didn't
See
know that. Wow.
People don't know.
Right.
They have no idea. But, this little girl right here, she knows because she took government. My mother let me stay awake when Jimmy Carter won president. I begged to stay awake. I have been into politics since Jimmy Carter. And I know all about Trump.
I never knew that about him being a Democrat. Yeah. Wow.
He tried to donate to what's the little black girl vice president? You'll never see her anymore.
Kamala.
He donated to Kamala and she sent that check back. She didn't cash it.
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Dee Dee.
And that's you need to know for today.
Right.
Don't rewind that back if you missed anything. I will tell you.
I'm gonna look that up after it's over because I never knew that about Trump. I always thought he was a Republican.
No. And that's why I said stop loving Clinton because Clinton and Trump used to be friends. And probably still are. I don't know.
Right.
But I've never been a Clinton fan.
Yeah.
Get off Arsenio Hall. Girl, we've been on here 53 minutes. We got 3 pages of hot topics we didn't get to. So funny. But before we do go, Suge Knight. I seen someone popped up, those darn clickbaits. Suge Knight getting out of prison. No, he's not. But Suge Knight is funny. He did win his negligence case.
Okay, so he had several cases, but won.
They were trying to sue him in civil court, where he's got to pay people. That case ended in a mistrial. Like, but that was my husband's homeboy that he ran over. But the thing with that case that always kind of bothered me. Hey, in your sight, you missed a lot, man. He said, "What did I miss?" You should have been in here. We was talking politics. We love to talk politics. He wasn't. That really should have been like a manslaughter case because he was trying to get away. Like they ran up on him, and he really was. And rest in peace or whatever. I don't know what to say. But like I said, that was the husband's homeboy that he killed. But he was, you go back, it was so long ago. He didn't set out to murder somebody. I don't remember the case, it was so long ago, but at the time I was thinking, wasn't he trying to get away? And he was at my Tams too. I love that Tams. Yeah, so, but it did end in a mistrial, which kind of makes you go back and wonder, I didn't watch that trial in respect to the husband. But it was kind of like I don't know if that was a setup or what happened. I know didn't they pull up on him at the Tams?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But I never really got into that case, so.
Yeah. Hey, Red Light Collection. I was gonna say Red Light Special like TLC. Red Light Collection is in here, so yeah, that was a real sad case. Because people die.
Light.
I don't like when people die. So just because there's been so much loss in my life. Right. So I always have a ball when I'm in here with you. I did want to touch on the Uvalde, all the little babies that were killed in that Uvalde shooting, the mayor is going to close down that school, which is kind of traumatic. You think I don't think I'd want my kid going back to school. And you know what really got me? It still drives me insane. There were several officers inside that school with rifles, and it still took 58 minutes to save those babies. And I say, okay, that little boy had an NR-15, which shoots off how many rounds? He reloaded. And I would say, okay, you have to devise a plan to get in there. But if those police officers wouldn't have went in that school and saved their babies, 58 minutes you waited for Border Patrol or whatever came in to take.
Yeah, I think Dee is having a little bit of technical difficulties. Her internet is been going down, so I'm pretty sure she's switching from her computer to her phone. But I think things like that in the news, you know, I don't understand why someone will have the mindset to go into an elementary school and shoot up some innocent babies. You know, it doesn't make any sense, but you know, this is where we're at in society. Sad but true. And we have Dee Dee back.
Yeah, I hopped on my phone. Because I said I'm not going to end her like this. I don't know why does that to me. But I can't see any comments because I'm on my phone. And it is our hour, so we're going to hop up out of here. You can see my whole room. It's bright now.
Hey, red light.
So, yeah, I hate to end it on that story, though.
Yeah.
So, but we so appreciate you joining us tonight on our.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, and my girl showed up, Melinda. Hey, Melinda.
Yeah, red light said, "Do you think it could be a mental health problem?" Of course. Anybody who walk up in here and do something like that, for sure, it's a mental health problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said that he had been bullied, which it is. Who could kill babies like that? One. But I always say, like, you know, my sons will tell you that I got on their nerves. I talk to them so much. So these parents really have to. And an NR-15 is not cheap. So parents, where did he get this money from?
Right.
So, yeah.
Sad we have to end it like this, but.
Yeah. But it was fun, and I'm loving your fit, beautiful.
Thank you for the shirt. I appreciate it. Covering up a bad hair night
again, and definitely because I'm getting a new hat and suit from them. I was talking to them last night before I hopped on the radio show. I mean, on G's interview last. So I'll be sporting that one soon. It's Laker colors.
Right? Nice.
You know my Lakers. So this was fun. And we next month we gotta plan a ladies' night so we could play some music.
Yes, that'd be nice. Are we gonna serenade anybody, or are we gonna we should do this for ourselves, serenade ourselves. How about that?
Because we did the men and we did house party. So we're gonna play some music for the ladies. Get sexy up in here. Well, we can't play certain songs like Chris Brown or Neo, you know, or Prince.
Right.
So well, you know us, we could pick some music.
It's gonna be fun. Hopefully we'll have Monica, you know.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be real fun. Have ladies' night.
Do us a ladies' night.
Right? That's
I ain't
how
gonna
we
do much
start
moving
off
because
the
my
show.
body hurts. So, G, I want to hear check me out. So drop that video so we can say good night to everybody.
Good night.
Check me,
She said your wife.
check me out. 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 Check me. Can I get a microphone check? Cash check. In the fast lane holding ass check. Yeah. Check me out. Check me out. Can I get a microphone check? Cash check. In the fast lane holding ass check. Yeah. Check me out. Why don't you check me out? Why don't you check me out? In Lenox Mall, buying it all out. Tell the cashier she could check me out. 100 grand total, sign the check and we out.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. 85 degrees in the winter times, never odd. Just another day in California, palm trees, low riders, black Asians and SA. All they do is bang, make music and sell weight. From the bottom of Diego to west of the Palisades, Rosecrans, Crenshaw, all the way to Longbeach, Alhambra, Pasadena, Triple City, Rosemead, Alameda, Riverside, all the way to Broadway. Shout out to the homies up in Quentin doing all day. Shout out to the bricks, I'ma represent it always. Back in 89, used to write it in the hallways. Product of the 80s, so the streets played a part though. Creased up Dickies, Ben Davis with a scarf on. Homie, this a hardcore, West Coast G shit. California love back for the second season. Seeing is believing, so I'ma make a picture me rolling like Pop. All I'm missing is my Hennessy. Me against the world, give a shout out to my enemies and all my fake homies.
Oh, Angela's gone. I love G's music. Y'all, he's got a great catalog. Go check his music out. It's on all platforms. I get mine off of iTunes. That's some of his old music. So he was making music back in the days. He's still making music. Check out his new album too. If you missed that interview last night, go check it out. It's up on YouTube. Don't forget Oldies Rule Forever tomorrow. And thank you for hanging out with me and Angela today. And Monica, we missed you. You got to come hang out with us. She had other obligations she had to do tonight. Love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us. Peace.